there's been a lot of talk about the First Amendment as it relates to political speech, but I just want to talk for a minute on New York Times versus Sullivan. And in 1993, you wrote a book review and you discussed the Supreme Court's decision in that case, which, as you know, was a critically important decision for libel law. You wrote in that review that, quote, "The obvious dark side of the Sullivan standard is that it allows grievous reputational injury to occur without monetary compensation or any other effective remedy." And you wondered, is uninhibited defamatory comment an unambiguous social good? That is, does it truly enhance public discourse, you asked. And I wondered if you agreed with your past comments on Sullivan and whether or not your last few months going through the media focus with your confirmation hearing has changed your opinion or strengthened it in any way. Solicitor General.
Okay. I think people should be able to write anything that they want about me, and I don't think that I should be able to sue them for libel.
Very good. But how about the case itself, and with the changing internet and other, more social media and bloggers? I mean, does that affect anything? And how about your past comments? Do you want to add to those from the book review?
Libel can harm people. That reputational harm is real harm, and that people can suffer great damage from their reputations being inaccurately besmirched through utterly false statements. And I guess the question that I asked was whether there were some contexts where the person had not put themselves into the public sphere in any real way, where the person was, a private actor trying to mind his or her own business and sort of became dragged into the spotlight and something terrible said about that person in a way that had harmed that person. The law actually does treat that person somewhat differently in libel law, but the question I was asking was whether the balance had been struck appropriately in that sort of case, where the values of the First Amendment in uninhibited political speech are not so much evident, and where the personal harm can be great. And it's been so many years since I read that article. I'm not exactly sure how I came out on that question, but I think it's a real question. And even as we understand the absolute necessity for a kind of New York Times versus Sullivan sort of rule, and for protection of speakers from libel suits, from defamation suits, even as we understand that, we should also appreciate that people who did nothing to ask for trouble, who didn't put themselves into the public sphere, can be greatly harmed by when something goes around the internet and everybody believes something false about a person. That's a real harm, and the legal system should not pretend that it's not.